What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Carnegie Studios. I'm Chris, and today we're going to be taking a look on 5 ways to practice your chord progressions. Let's jump right into it. So the very first way is inversions. We're going to take a common chord progression, 1, 4, 6, 5, and play it. And we're going to apply inversions to it. We're going to be in the key of C starting off, and then we're going to play the 1. We'll hop over to the 4. Then we'll 6, and then 5. That's going to be the chord progression we use for this video. So right off the bat, there's several inversions I can use if I'm just using triads, right? We're going to do first inversion, right, for that C. Then I can do first inversion for the F. I'll stick with root position for A minor and then root position for G. I could jump to second inversion for that C major, straight to first inversion for the F major, and then A minor, and then G. I can mix and match inversions in those last 2 chords. Second inversion C, first inversion F, first inversion A, and then that's better. First or second inversion for G, right? So we can mix and match that. Inversions expand your ability to play the same thing with a different flavor. Second thing is playing them in different keys, right? 5 ways to practice a chord progression. If you want to truly master a chord progression, it's not just one key, but in different keys. So we'll add the key of D and the key of E to this, right? So I did in the key of C, 1, 4, 6, 5, cool. Key of D, 1, 4, 6, 5. Looking at the key of D, key, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then back to the 5, right? So just so that you have that, we've got D major, then G major, B minor, and then A major, back to the 1, right? Key of E, 1, 4, 6, 5. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 5. So you practice that, apply it to multiple different keys. Let's throw B, right? 1, 4, 6, and then 5. Practicing them in different keys, your chord progressions in different keys, whatever you select, will help you to be able to expand your abilities, right? It's like the Infinity Gauntlet. The next thing is to play arpeggios. They're a simple way to add more variety. Going back to the key of C, we have 1, 4, 6, 5. Cool, right? What if I added an arpeggio to one of those chords? Listen for it. Something different dynamics, different feeling. What if I added it to 2 of them, to all of them? The world is your oyster. Inversions added too at the end, right? So let's move on to the 4th thing. The 4th thing is voicings. So you can just stick with arpeggios and it's cool. We've already added a nice variety of things. But what if we played with extended chords? We added seventh chords, ninth chords. Let's look at it. So we'll do seventh chords for 1, 4, 6, 5, and back to the 1. Beautiful, right? So all I added was a root position seventh chord. Let's play up so it doesn't sound a little darker. 1, 4, 6, or you can add that seventh chord too, and then 5. It's a triad, and then back to the 1. You could also use inversions on the seventh chord or arpeggiate those root position seventh chords, right? So and I continue. So that was arpeggiating. Let's do some inversions. 1, beautiful, right? So I just did inversions of a seventh chord. So second inversion for C major, right? C major 7, second inversion. Then I went to root position F major 7, A minor 7, root position, and then I did G major triad. So I'm mixing and matching and I'm adding different voicings. I like this voicing too. I can do major 9, C major 9, so we can 7, that E comes down to the D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. It changes everything, right? It adds a whole smoother vibe to it. So, ninth chords, F major, so yeah, different voicings, i.e. adding extended chords, sevenths and ninths, can also be a way that you practice it, right? You're moving up from just triads. Now you have multiple tricks in your bag. And that's not even, we're not even including passing chords yet, right? So I digress. So what do we have so far? We've got practicing inversions, practicing in different keys. We also have practicing arpeggios, incorporating arpeggios, voicings. That was the one we just did. And the last one is bass variations. What am I playing in my left hand? Bassline variations. So there's several things that I can do when I'm practicing and incorporating the bassline or my left hand. I can do octaves. I can also utilize the 1 and the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can do the 1, the 5, and the 1 for a bigger spread. Beautiful, right? Making a statement. And I can also just keep it simple with just a root position or a root note. It depends on the level of complexity you want to add or your level of comfortability. So if we're starting with octaves, this is what things can look like. We could do the 1, 5, and the 1. Or we could just do the 1 and the 5 in the bass. So we just do. You can also arpeggiate the bass while you're playing. This is when you're starting to get into incorporating a little bit of a bass line, right? A little bit of a bass rhythm, right? So So you're adding a little bit something extra, right? You're just starting to add a little bit of rhythm in that bass, right? Especially if you don't have a bass player or you're playing solo. So that's your fifth way to practice, and you can incorporate all of them together. So starting with inversions. Different keys. Let's do E. Arpeggios. Different voicings, right? Back to C. Voicings. What was the last one? What was that last one? Oh, the bass. And there you have it, folks. 5 ways to practice your chord progressions. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. If you have anything that you've practiced that works for you, also comment down below. Thanks for watching, y'all. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.